Hello and welcome. My name is Salom and this is the RPMJ channel. I got invited by my very good friend Eddie Poku from the Ryde channel, who invited me to the Ryde Talk. And I must say, it was a really interesting time that we had. We really talked about cars and he taught a lot. I mean, I really had a good time, and I decided to share this video for you to have an idea of what we talked about and some things I think will be helpful. So let's start. So he decided to give us a brief lecture on the DPF and the diesel car. So pay attention, pay close attention. I'm going to quiz you after this in the end, so pay close attention.
And combustion. Now, let me just say a little bit about the DPF. Okay, now the DPF system was introduced a few years ago. Okay, now what happens is that it's something that's supposed to protect the environment. Okay, so that yes, the environment will be clean, but as the car, gives out the soot and it gets captured by the DPF, the car has a regenerative mode that it goes into. Okay, but if you are running a diesel engine and you don't run it long distance, maybe you are just doing home to office in Accra here, where you drive slow in traffic. That's why I made a video and talked about diesel or petrol engine. If you are using a diesel, if you are buying a diesel car, you have to make sure that you are buying because you drive long distances because of this, the DPF. Because if you don't drive long distances, it won't allow the DPF to go into a regenerative mode and burn out the soot. So all the soot and the particles will be gathered inside your exhaust system. And the car is like a big vacuum cleaner. It takes air, mix it with fuel, and spits it out through your exhaust. Okay, so if your DPF is blocked, your car cannot pull the air through the system very well, and when that happens, it means that your car is not going to be running well. Your fuel consumption is going to be bad. If your diesel engine is also turbocharged, your turbo is going to become clogged and it's going to destroy, and you say, oh, the car is not good, it's not that the car is not good. Okay, if for any reason you want to run a diesel car, okay, please get one of these. Otherwise, get a petrol engine. Now, the petrol engine to have their own because our fuel is less than the ideal quality. Yes.
Now we know. Thank you very much, Eddie. Thank you.
Because we load the power. Yeah. So I have this brother. I pulled him into the studio today. We are going to be doing a lot of things together, as we go along from now on. So I want to introduce my brother. I'll give him an opportunity to tell us a little bit about himself. So, my brother, take it away.
Hello.
So I'm going to skip the self-introduction for now because I'm sure most of you already know me.
I'm sure.
If you don't know me, you could just hit me up on the comment section and we'll pick it up from there. So for now, I'm going to move straight into the car conversation. So let's go.
Now, today we are taking a retrospective look at the auto scene in Ghana and international for the year just passed by, 2023. All right, so Salon, let's take it away from you. Yes, 2023. What were your auto highlights? Yes,
for me, I had like the news that were coming, the cars that were coming out, the shows. It was crazy. It made 2023 a very good year in the automobile scene. I mean, the only thing that for me broke my heart was and the launch control. We didn't have it last year. I think that was the only thing that broke my heart. But then even with that one crap, it was an automobile thing. Ghana here, I mean, we had shows. We had, for me, it was the first time I met the F1 and viewing party. I met them for the first time last year.
Yeah,
in the show.
And co.
It was an amazing event.
Awesome. 2023 for me, Ryde channel, we had great opportunities, great doors opening for us. We started the year with an invitation to South Africa, where we had opportunity to watch live, the Formula E.
Yeah, so
the Formula E, my goodness, for us motorheads, a lot of times when you hear about Formula E, when you hear about electric cars, you think that because you don't hear the sound,
we are not excited.
Masa, who's not trackside? Na car need chemu.
We show.
Chale. It's something else, and I think that it's a great sport. I mean, it is early days yet. It won't be on the same level as Formula One.
I think it will take some time.
With the interest and the amount of work that those behind it, the FIA and all the others are putting into it, I know for sure, that in a couple of years it's going to be great. And the South Africans also took it very, very personal. That they are fighting very, very hard to have Formula One on the African continent.
I think that's why they took it personal. I mean, when I was like, wait, we have a Grand Prix there, but they've never been here. It doesn't make sense. So I think they are trying to make the FIA see that, look, with Formula E, you can host them comfortably and not have any issues. So come on, come and let's do Formula One. I think that's the idea they are trying to portray, and it is laudable. I think when it comes to the Formula setup, is the logistics. I was watching something the other time about Formula E, and you'd be shocked like how they generate enough power to power the cars. It was amazing. Like when I saw it, I was like, why don't you use this thing in Ghana? So I think with the Formula series, they just go beyond innovation.
I mean, the whole idea of motorsports is about development. That is why there's that term in the automotive industry: win on Sunday, sell on Monday. That is why true. I mean, companies will put so much. If you take cars that we have, there's so much technology, that we have in the cars on the road that we have today because of motorsports.
That's true.
So motorsport is, apart from the fact that it employs so many people, gives people very, very solid, careers. There's so much money that is coming in, and the innovation trickles down to the cars. I mean, if I start listing them right now, the technology that we have just because of Formula One, I mean, even Formula E technology has already trickled down into some of the cars we have today.
Because now EVs and hybrid plugins are becoming a thing. And we are picking them from these people.
They are becoming more than a thing. An opportunity also to test drive the Nissan Qashqai and the Nissan X-Trail. The X-Trail. The X-Trail, I've already had the opportunity to drive it in Slovenia, but I had a second go this time on a racetrack at the Kailani racetrack in Cape Town. Very, very, very nice experience. That track is like a go-kart track, so it's pretty
narrow.
It's not narrow, but it has a lot of curves. Has lots of curves. So we drove the car. Then they improvised and gave us a bit of gravel. Like a Moto X or Rally X, like a Rally X car, where you have a track session and you have off-road session. And it was good because these were e-power cars. So they have engines, but the engines are not connected to the wheels. So it's essentially an EV that has its own generator on board producing it, and it also had the ability to do one pedal driving. So you don't really step on the brake. You just accelerate, take your foot off the accelerator, and the car itself will start braking as if you are pressing. It was really, 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 really good. I forgot in Johannesburg we visited the Schwarzkopf race course. Schwarzkopf race course. Massa.
I mean the name Schwarzkopf race course.
Massa. I'll try and put a picture of Schwarzkopf race course right now, and it's like a racing village.
Wow.
Or I would say a racing town. My goodness, Charlie, you will see lots and lots and lots and lots of how do you call them, cubicles and cars upon cars, vintage racing cars,
like everything someday there.
And Charlie took us to the track experience. So they have some that one you can't drive, so they have their own drivers. Massa.
You just had one lap, and
they gave us about 3 laps.
Massa. That's enough.
Massa. Charlie,
That's enough, bro.
the boys, they know the pet.
You're joking.
I've had a track experience. I mean, I've driven, I've driven.
I think I saw that video.
I've
You had
driven
some
on the Top Gear.
supercars,
I've
yeah.
driven on the Top Gear track.
Yeah,
before.
you had that experience. So
the Swascop track Nankasa fine because it's wide. It has nice sweeping corners. Then there are elevations, very very good elevations too as well. But Charlie, my driver no or your stubborn boy, Charlie, the way a movie car no.
you sure? Oh God!
You
should have taken a video. I can imagine how your face.
I have a video. It's online.
You're like.
For me, if it's but I composed myself, I got myself together, and I got myself into a groove, and I was enjoying it. When you're driving fast, you yourself, you know, there's fear like that. But when somebody is driving you like that, but after one track, then now I started to trust the guy because you know that the guy knows the car very well,
and he knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. I mean, the Golf R is all-wheel drive, but he could get the back of the car to step out a little bit. Massa,
that's
where the Utinghag, where the plant is, they have a museum. So every VW vehicle that has been built in Utinghag, which is South Africa, you have all of them in the yes.
Wow.
Some have featured in movies. In fact, Heavy Goes Bananas. Yes, Heavy Goes Bananas. If you watch that movie, the VW car was there. They had different combis. They have some VWs that when I was a kid growing up in Tema, my friend Mark Benson's dad had.
So everything there.
Charlie, everything was there. The last Golf that was manufactured there, they had it there, and all the people that were working there at the time signed on it. It's a black Golf.
Wow.
It's a Golf 2.
And I don't think they're going to sell that. But
No.
That's priceless.
It's priceless.
That's priceless.
It's a Golf 2. Even the alloys on it was a special design, one-off design.
Wow.
And everybody signed on it in different colors of felt tip. Really nice.
Yeah.
Accra Auto Show by
it's a link up.
It's a link up. Yes.
That was for me one of my highlights for this year. I mean last year.
Yeah.
The event was just so successful.
Yeah.
I mean, so many cars. People actually participated. Cars were there. I mean, it kind of brought about the spirit behind why we love cars.
Yeah.
Okay. We had cars from all over the world, like different cars. Like it was just beautiful. And at the end of the day, I think it was a week or two. No, it was some time before the Drift Hunters.
Yeah.
So they were coming to announce their presence, and oh my God, they did a wonderful job. They really did announce their presence there, and so the whole thing was just wonderful. It was so amazing.
Yeah, and that's it. Let's just jump into the Drift Hunters event as well.
Yeah, Drift Hunters was amazing. So what happened was, in December we were supposed to have launch control, but for one or two reasons. I just watched this movie, Ferrari. I don't know if you've seen it. It was a story about Enzo Ferrari. And, back in the day when they were racing, they always had people standing by the roadside. It was a normal thing. Then they'll just speed by and they'll be cheering. But in that movie, we saw an accident which led to the death of so many people who were standing by the roadside. They were not controlled. A lot of people, I think, let me use this avenue to say this. A lot of people fail to realize that sometimes for these events, safety is very important. We love cars, but we need to be safe. And for that reason, launch control was cancelled, just so we could find a solution for that problem. So for me, I was very sad. I was honestly so, because I was looking forward to last year's launch control.
I am sure you're not the only one that was sad.
Yeah.
A lot of people were sad.
I was so sad.
I mean, for the automotive scene, it was very, very important for us as well, because for the past how many years we've always had launch control in December. So we're really, really looking forward to having launch control. And in 2022, we had a lot of online attention for launch control.
It was big.
It was huge.
It was big.
huge. The planners were looking at a certain number, and just after the gate opened, the number of people that came in was about 70% more than what they were anticipating.
So for me, when I got there, for me, it was that crowd. Yes, I was there for cars, but what shocked me was like, wow, so we have a lot of people who love cars. Like, in Ghana here, truth be told, the car culture is now catching up. It's not really established. And it's people like you and I who are trying to establish the car culture in Ghana. So for me to see that number of people, like, I was fortunate enough to get a drone shot. You will be amazed. Yeah. A lot of people were there.
A lot. It was like a sea of people.
It was a sea of people.
Even when we closed, it took a good 1 hour
to get out of the place. Even with
police and military control to get out of the place.
The crowd was crazy.
It was crazy. I mean, for me, I knew somehow something told me that it was going to be crazy. So even getting there, I got there very, very early.
Yeah, I know. I think I called you that day. I sent you a text.
I got there really, really early, and I actually dedicated that whole day to be there. So even I had to sleep there.
You go and find some place and
yes,
sleep.
I'm sure I would have been.
But I don't think you'd have been able to sleep because the energy there was something else.
Oh yes, of course. If people had to stay at that place overnight, I'm sure things will happen.
Yeah, things happen. Things will happen. The energy was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
So as I was saying, so it was sad, but I understood what he was saying. And after watching Ferrari, I was like, okay, spot on. It's fine. Like. It's good you didn't let it happen. Then we heard of Drift Hunters. Now you see, it's the maiden event. We've never seen anything, like we don't know what they are talking about. Drift, and the only drift me I know is Tokyo Drift.
Yeah.
And I was wondering in my head, how are they going to have something like Tokyo Drift? Because Tokyo Drift is like from point A to point B. Do you get it? Yeah, I know there are some drift like events where people do coordinated drifting and all that. So it was new and we didn't know what to expect. Then on the 24th, or was it 24th? Yeah, 24th, the show happened. And oh my God. Stancast, I hope you're watching this. And if you're watching them, to Chamao. Hi!
Yeah. And Kevin, we just want to say good job. With Drift Hunters, especially with people coming in from Nigeria, with people coming in from South Africa. The lady that came from the Smoke Queen, that girl just stole my heart. Top one girl.
They say a way to a man's heart is through the stomach, but this one I don't know where she passed. She just stole the heart.
Top one girl.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a good show.
The whole of last year, the car that stole my own. The Revelto. That's the car that stole for me.
Revelto against Perosangwe.
I'll go for the Revelto.
You go for Revelto.
The funny thing that the Perosangwe, for some reason, it was when it came out first, and I was watching what people thought about it.
Yeah,
the people who should know, they were kind of confusing me. So we all know it's an SUV. But they were saying that Ferrari is saying that it's not really an SUV. Yeah. Like I was like, so what is it? Do you get it? Yes, it's like we all know this is why it's SUV. You brought a car to compete with the Euros, and we understand. You guys have been at each other's neck since God created the world, and it's fine. But I don't know. So for me, when they brought the Revelto, I mean the technology behind it, I think that one is replacing the what's it called? Aventador.
Yeah, of course.
So I just got really interested in it, and I liked it. I mean the design is not bad. The design is good. It's a Lamborghini-ish design, so it works for me. I mean with the performance.
Yeah.
That car is good.
You know the Aventador has been around for a while.
Yeah.
So they've always been talking about replacing it.
Yes, I mean I think it's time.
And if you're going to replace it, you have to replace it with another V12.
Just like the way the what's it called? That Aventador replaced the Michelado.
Yeah, exactly.
So we know that we should expect something big and massive.
Yeah, and of course they had to put in a bit of hybrid technology. But Lambo always wants to do their things in a very different way. Traditionally, when you are adding hybrid, you put some motors, usually on the front axles, then one sandwich between the engine and the gearbox.
Exactly.
Then you put some small battery in somewhere. But they decided to do something called super capacitor.
I think they started it with the CN.
Yeah, the CN.
I really don't understand why.
No, I mean, but the CN was just a test bed for the real tool.
I really don't understand why. Like what you are saying, I understand. You know, sometimes it could be a hit and miss. Sometimes it could just be a hit. For me, the super capacitor, well.
No, but I think that probably maybe it's just a middle finger that Charlie this EVT now. You know they see top. You know they mind.
You know the talents are good at doing that.
Yeah,
they're really good at doing that. Even if you look at the LaFerrari, you know the Holy Trinity at that time.
Yeah,
they had a proper hybrid. Okay, you look at the Porsche and you look at the what's it called, the
McLaren P1.
But only for the Ferrari, it had its own. Like it was different from the other two, and I don't know why they do that. You know, for instance, for the Porsche or the what's it called, McLaren, you could drive the car independent of the IC, and you'll be fine. But this one is not. It has to work together.
You see, for them, I'm trying to put myself in their shoes. You know, it's like, if I'm going to buy a Ferrari, I'm going to buy a Lamborghini. Now, how EV can make my problem now?
I think we've had this discussion earlier, right? Where I was telling you that I am thinking that if these companies are going to go into the EV, I think they should set up their own company. That we know that we know it's connected to Lamborghini. But they are not doing IC.
It's not a bad idea, but I think that for some of the companies too, they believe that they have what it takes for the existing brand to add something, you know, to the EV. You know what I'm saying?
So far, I haven't seen anything like that with. I stand corrected with Aston Martin. I haven't seen anything like that with them. Hybrid, yeah.
No,
I haven't seen anything like that with them.
No, not yet.
And it's pure.
Even the new Aston Martin cars that they just
the DB12. I think the Volante,
the DB12, and they have these the Valhalla and
the Valkyrie,
the Valhalla and the Valkyrie, and even those ones are not.
They are not
have
EVs,
any hybrid.
Yeah. And
I mean, for the number, I mean, if you are really want to save the world, you know, for the numbers they will be selling, you're not going to do any change. I mean, look at the godfather of the supercar himself, Gordon Murray himself. You know, he has a new
the T something.
T50, T52, T53, and he decided to go naturally aspirated, no hybridization,
and it's fine,
pure mechanical.
You see, I think the truth of the matter is that it will get to a point there will be a balance between pure EV, the hybrid plugins, and the IC engine.
Of course.
See, that one there is inevitable. Whatever we do, we will get there. Even Ghana crash we will get there. So Ghanaians, please be prepared.
Yeah.
But for now, you see, it's
okay. So this is what I think. You know, when people say, "Oh, EV," yes, I like EVs. In fact, I'm really eyeing a particular EV that I really want to get. You know, but this is my take. EVs will become the main, you know, source of, you know, auto mobility
at a point.
Yes, at a point, yes. But the ICE engines will still, or the ICE cars will still be around, you know, for that day that you want to just take a ride,